Good evening, everyone. I am Judah Bernard with Sunday Jewels on the Rise. I am the Wisdom Dialoguer and the Motivational Warrior. It's been a minute, a little sketchy. Just doing this. I'm just glad to be here today. Happy Sunday, everybody. We're definitely waiting on our co-host to come in. Like I said, this topic today is going to be who or what are you focusing on for the new year? And when we're talking about focus, we want to know, what does that look like? What do we do? How do you focus? There's so many ways that you can focus, but what are you honing in on? What are you pitching in? What are you approaching? What are you tackling? What are you addressing? What are you plunging into? What are you zeroing in on? What are you taking up? What are you diving into? What are you trying to pursue? What are you trying to face? What are you trying to knuckle down? What are you trying to settle down to? What are you trying to fall to? What are you trying to wade into? What are you trying to undertake, or what are you trying to attack? One thing is, we must understand in life that we are here. Number one, for a purpose, and what does that purpose mean? We want to make sure that we are also initiating what that looks like for everyone too as well. So we want to say hello to everybody. We're just waiting on our co-host. News alert, hey, we on a sabbatical. We were on a sabbatical. We thank you guys for joining in with Love with LaRonda. But everything comes to an end. Sunday Jewels on the Rise, our last season, our last episode will be on next Sunday. So we'll make sure you tune in and make sure you come in and just come in and do what you need to do, and because it's going to be like a potpourri thing where we're ending it and we're just moving forward. One thing is, we want to continue to talk about who or what are you focusing on for the new year, and what does that mean? What does that look like for you? I know people don't remember. I did publish a book, and my book was The Pressures of My Sin, called Difficult Conversations. So what we want to do is definitely pop into that. If you want to go on Amazon, my name is Jeremy Sims. My ministry name is Judah. So want to just make sure that you guys go and one counteractive thing is, if you got the small print copy, please email me, as that's thetrjudah@outlook.com, because if you got the small print copy, that we actually got the real copy next. The publisher and the printing company kind of mix-matched it. So the thing is, now we have the real print, so you can actually go and read it. So definitely email me so you can get the real book now. Hello, LaRonda.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm quite well. What's wrong?
I don't know. When I got on, it was saying that this video is having trouble uploading, and now I can see anyone watching. This is what my screen is saying. I see you fine, so can you see me okay?
I can see you.
Okay. Okay, well, that's all that matters.
Okay. Like, okay. What?
I don't know. When I just got on, it was like it said we're having trouble uploading this video, so I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's neither here or there.
Right.
Turn on some. It's hot in here. Okay, I'm ready.
So just trying to bring some people in. Go ahead and introduce yourself once again.
Okay, I am LaRonda, and I am Lord, it's been so long.
I know.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm LaRonda, and I am a certified life coach and a licensed social worker. And I have my own mentoring agency called Jules Mentoring, where I mentor children and do life coaching for adults. I have my own podcast as well. I actually have two, but I'm only focusing on one right now. And it's on YouTube called Love is LaRonda. I got a few episodes up there, and I also have one called Dinner and Dialogue that I have a co-host with, and we talk about relationships and things of that sort. And I am the co-host of Judah Bernard on Sunday Jewels on the Rise.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back. As we did a short sabbatical, and I explained to the listener next time we out. And and new year, new material, new stuff coming in. And we just want to be thankful to everybody that's great. And focusing on for the new year.
Right.
Me personally, I will be focused.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
You going in and out.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. So what I'll be doing is getting close. One thing is that I know my relationship has been close, but it's close to God. So a lot of things, a lot of tiring, close for knowledge.
Your voice started going back in and out.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Uncle Judah.
Or can you hear me still?
I can hear you now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know what's going on. Because I turned off over here. So what are some things you focus on, Miranda?
Well, I think I'm going to be more focused on refocusing on becoming but I told you I'm in therapy again to deal with some things that we really, I'm learning that you really don't know what's all in you until it's exposed. And we can have a thought that this is how we are until we encounter some type of trigger. And so I encountered some triggers that, I didn't even know that was in me. And so I decided that I was going to go back to therapy to heal from it because I don't want that to be a part of me. And so my focus, my number one focus is building character. More than anything, more than success, more than financial gain, more than, jewels, is me becoming in the image of Christ. And in becoming that, you have to have character. And in having character, you have to be authentic in everything. And you have to dig deep to really figure out what is all inside of you. Because some things happen to you as a child that you don't even realize planted some very damaging seeds in you. And so my focus is refocusing on the me before the trauma, and figuring out who I am. Like, who are you? Because to me, I think I'm a good person, and I have a good heart, and it's all surface level things. But when I dig deeper, I realize that there's a lot of emotional trauma that I didn't even know that I had. And I had to realize that I don't connect well with people, not because I don't desire to, but because it was a seed planted in me as a child. And so I am one of those types that I disconnect from you instantly and not even feel any emotions or remorse towards it. And I have my justification is why I done it. But I'm realizing that hurt people. So even in building character, you have to be honest with who you are in all areas of your life, and you can't put on a cape and pretend that you're something that you're not. And so my thing is I'm focusing on becoming me and getting rid of all the wounds that I didn't even know there were wounds. So if that makes sense.
Yes. Hey, International Secretary, thanks for joining.
Hey, Steph.
Our International Secretary came in on us.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing that we're talking about today. Who and what that we want to focus on for the relationship. Focus on like my relationship is more of God and ministry and things like that. I think I know that he's and those I can more pure than my walk in Christ. We definitely want to hear from other people. Uh, we're going to go ahead and start the conversation. Not pull people up just yet, but we want you guys to join in on the queue too, as because we want to know what you're focusing on too. So I want to get at least 10 of it. We're going to that should be focused here.
You're cracking up again.
Oh Jesus! Why is I'm cracking up?
I think the more you lean back, the more the cracking start happening.
Okay, let me come closer.
Yeah.
And it might be this little thing I got.
Say something.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you when you like that.
Like this?
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. So some of the things that we can focus on, it's probably my thing where I'm got it propped up. So glad you guys can hear me. One thing is take back your life. Let's just do that. Take back our lives. Do not let anyone control your life. Okay. I don't have one. You have one? You got a fan on anything?
I have a fan on.
Yeah. She said she could hear it in the it's like
Is my sound going in and out or your sound going in and out?
she said
But I do have a fan on.
yeah, that because I don't have anything on. So it's like a wind blowing into the speaker. So the one thing is take back your life. The one thing is do not let anyone control your life by pushing all the right buttons. A lot of people like to do a lot of things. Hey, I am Stephanie Renee. I have a wind sound. No, it's off now. That was LaRonda.
I had a fan on because it was hot in here.
Look, it's hot over here. That's why I got bottled water too. If I turn it low, probably too loud. But the one thing is take back your life. Do not let anyone control your life by pushing the buttons. Every time you react to their petty attempts, guess what? You're just losing so many points on your own self. So one thing I want people to do is relax, stay calm, breathe, and just release and let them not take control of your life. The one thing is sometimes people just want to take control of your life and you allow them. But if you just say, look, I want my life back. Take control of your life back. Whatever it is, family members, whatever it is, your ex, whatever it is, your boyfriend, whatever it is, your spouse, whatever it is, your partner, whatever it is, get your life back in control.
How do they get their life back?
Huh?
How do you get your, because it sounds good.
Right.
But what works?
Ask that, how do you get your life back? First of all, you have to know where you are missing your life at. Nobody can tell you this but you. You know if you feel a certain type of way when somebody trigger you or push a button and now you're angry. Why are you angry? Number one, why you're angry is because of the environment or the element that came at you that meant something that you may not agree with. Guess what? If you don't agree with it, you can set boundaries and say, I don't agree with you. Sometimes we don't set those boundaries. Sometimes we don't say nothing. Now we mad the whole week and haven't even addressed how we feel. Sometimes we just go for so long, it just gets pushed up on the rug, and then you're back at square one when they say something else to you. So taking control of your life is setting boundaries. Taking control of your life is let your own mind control you. You are in control of your own mind. Like I said, stand calm, breathe, relax, and be a command of what you say and how you say it. Because at the end of the day, nobody can take anything from you but you.
All that is true, and I do agree. But if you've never been taught what boundaries are, you have to give people practical knowledge of how to set those boundaries.
I'm glad you asked.
Some people as me, like I had no idea what setting boundaries were for years. I didn't know how to communicate my needs because I didn't know what my needs were. And so all that is great information, but it can kind of leave people in a whirlwind because even though they want to do this, how do I do it?
Setting boundaries. Number one is, who are you?
I don't know. I don't know.
So here's the question. How do you address when you don't know who you are?
How do you, that's what I'm like, people have a perception of who they are because of what they've been taught and what the environment has told them who they are. So unless something is revealed to them spiritually, in a sense, they continue to live in denial because this is what I'm supposed to be. Like, how many people have you seen that's doctors, but really don't have a desire to be a doctor, but because they was told there was a doctor, that's what they do, but they really want to be an artist?
So the one thing that I do with people is, number one is, if you're able to gather things, number one is, I'll tell people from the door, go see a therapist, get you a coach. Get you somebody that can move you forward, because sometimes we need that extra push, especially if you are in an environment in which you are not growing. That's just like you see, and that's why I put this plant over here beside me. Number one is this plant, it comes from a seed, correct?
Correct.
You got to have the right soil.
Correct.
I didn't have the right soil at the beginning. I had to change the soil out until that soil matched the seed.
I get that.
Guess what? After that, you got to water it.
But you got to water it with clean water.
That part. Clean water. Clean, healthy water. On top of that, clean, healthy water, you got to also provide food and nourishment for it. Okay. On top of that, you got to put sunlight on it. On top of that, you got to talk to it. On top of that, you still got to clean the leaves. On top of that, you still got to prune. On top of that, you still got to repot every time.
Hey, Real Talk UK. He said, let's get you 100 views. Preach, brother. Hello. Hello.
Hello, how are you? So at the end of the day, let's talk about it. How are we planting our seed? Are you in good soil?
Some people think they are, but they're not.
And guess what? That's why I got these 10 things here.
I'm gonna leave you alone, Judah.
Take back your life. Take back. Let's see what Real Talk UK want to say, because he really want to come on. And UK, let's see what you're gonna talk about. I don't see you. Let me see. Can I get him in here? Since he want to come in here, come on, Real Talk. Where is he? He's not in here no more. Real Talk, you're not in here no more. Make sure you drop yourself into the queue so we can bring you up on the stage. Real Talk, I don't know where you went. Maybe you left. So on top of that, as we talked about, take back your life. Number one is choose happiness. But the one thing is, I want to say, happiness is circumstantial. Mm-hmm. That means it's only available after you feel it. That's it. Y'all want to give an example? Say, for instance, you have a car that you like, and you go purchase that car. That time that you purchase that car, that's your happiness in purchasing that car. That's it. Guess what? When that car starts depreciating itself or gets a little older, it ain't going to be too much happiness, because it's going to be a lot of pain, because now you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do that. But in the interim, guess what we did? We were happy because we was purchasing a car. That's why I say happiness is circumstantial. And that's why I choose joy. Joy is forever. Joy is peace, and joy goes hand in hand. So why am I asking to choose happiness? As difficult as it may be difficult to believe, happiness is a choice. It's a choice. We can either let the adversity that we face make us into a depressed, grumpy person, or we can learn from it, or decide that it's just a bump in the road and not a roadblock. Your mind is a powerful tool. Remember, I'm going back to the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Stay focused and do not let your life shut down. So many things have us just shut down, then we go back into the situation where we want to feel happy, but it seems like it's hard for us to get back happy. Remember, as long as it's in your mind to be happy, you can control it. That's it. Number 3, sometimes people who don't date or do something, start dating yourself.
Right.
Start dating yourself. Figure out who you are. Start asking yourself questions. It's like, what do you want? Sometimes you don't always want black coffee. Sometimes you want strawberry shortcake. Sometimes you want this. Understand who you are in yourself. You start dating yourself, guess what? You will become better at knowing who you are. And understand, when I was dating myself, I realized some things I didn't like about myself. Because I was dating me.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to come to realization, is that what everybody else said of me?
Mm-hmm.
So I took a poll. I was looking like, hold on, is this what y'all saw? And I didn't know. So that was still dealing with emotional things and trauma and things like that that had to come out in the open for me. Another thing, I have to just tell y'all, stop being the victim. We love to play victim. We love to play victim. And why is this a tough one? Because everybody is wanting to be a victim. Because it's very easy to play the victim card, especially when you're the only one who didn't want the separation or stop complaining about what happened and this, that, and the third, and you're always negative and how difficult things are because different things happen. Oh, this person did that, and this person did this to me, and this person did that. Let me ask you a question. What did you do to yourself and for yourself? What did you do to yourself and for yourself? And are you upset with yourself for doing that? But you're upset with everybody else. So let's stop playing the victim and start realizing that the more positive you deposit it into your soul, into your mind, and into the environment, guess what happens? The more positive you'll be. You don't always need friends that are hashtag negative. Negative to 300,000 power. Because guess what? 9 times out of 10, if that friend is negative, you're going to become negative. They're going to pull you down the rabbit hole with them. So realize what kind of relationships you have with family members that are always negative. Are you the one they're always calling on to say, hey, I need you to help me with this? Well, when are they going to offer help? So don't always be glass half empty. Always remember, remain full. Remain full in yourself. And that's what I practice every day. Another one is let go and live. Let go and let live. Whatever happened, let it go. We hold on to so much stuff. We just hold on, because, oh my gosh, because this happened in the 1920s, and these people were in the 1800s, and they did this, and people did that. You weren't even there. You just believing what the people saying. So how does that affect you? How does it affect you? Make it make sense. I cannot go back in the past and pull up things that happened. I just can't. I can read about them and then take and opine about what I'm reading. But after I stop, guess what I'm saying? That's not me. It don't have to be me. I can do better. And that's what it's about. Let go and let live. Let's start living, people. We don't all have to be in a funk. We don't. It's easier said than done. Because guess what? Sometimes we be in a funk. But guess what I always say? It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay.
That's true.
And let me tell you, today, I didn't feel good. I laid in the bed. I was okay not being okay. But I realized that I knew I had to come on at 6 o'clock till you find people and we have this conversation so we can move forward. So I was looking like, as I progressed, 2 o'clock hit, I said, I got to get better. What I need to do, go drink you some tea. 2:30 hit, you probably need to eat. 3 o'clock hit, I said, let me go lay on the couch. 4 o'clock. So guess what? My percentage level is moving up now because now I'm moving around. Sometimes we just sit in that bed and we want to soak in it. And why? Because it feels good to us.
Yeah.
It feels good. Nobody to bother me. Nobody do this. Nobody do that. But then guess what happens? How long you gonna stay in that bed? Let go, let live. Find your passion, people. Some things to focus on. Find your passion. Figure out what it is that will make you excited to get out of bed every day. What does that look like? Find a new hobby. You don't have to do the same thing. Trust me, I got so many hobbies. People were amazed. I like to go axe throwing. I like the crossbow. I like archery. I like a lot of things. Try something new. Step outside the box. And just because you live somewhere, you can create something. You don't know, by you creating it, that can probably be a venture or business for you. But we stay so limited. We stay limited to what we can do. Do you know you were purposed here on earth to do something? What was it? What is it? Find it. Find it. Number one thing is something that everybody needs to focus on is get active. Get more active. Exercise is the most underutilized antidepressant and yet can be far more effective than anything that comes in a pill bottle. But we run them pill bottles real quick.
Real quick.
Exercise releases endorphins that feel good and energize your spirits. Not only does it combat depression, but exercise has proven effects on anxiety. Regular exercise will boost mental and physical energy and relieve tension and stress. How many of us don't even want to exercise?
Me.
If it just go out walking.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just starting around the block. Whatever it is, we have to start something because the more endorphin you burn, the better you feel. The better you feel. The better you feel. Hey, how are you? Make time for those who made time for you. I can't even say how much that means. For those people that have taken out the time for you, that genuinely out time for you, make time for them. We're too busy trying to run around, trying to take time out for folks who don't care about us. If ain't nobody taking the time out for you, why would you take the time out for them? Make it make sense.
Sometimes people need you more.
Is that what we're going to call it?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but there are people who are not in a space that you may be in that you can help get to the next level. And it's a choice that you have to make if you do it. But I believe that sometimes God puts us in assignments.
Yeah. And if it's yours, you can go on it. But the thing is don't stay on that assignment too long. Because
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think that you have to be really wired with God to know when your assignment with an individual is up, because I am a firm believer that anyone you encounter is a reason for that encounter. Um, Either you're going to give something. Well, to me, is more than likely it's going to be reciprocated, but something you're going to learn from the situation to build your character. And so, even though the situation don't last, or even though they piss you off, it's still something in that situation that you benefited from, even if it was a negative encounter.
Right.
Because I'm learning that anytime something makes me mad, that only reveals something in me.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trigger in me, because if what they said didn't hit something that was already in me, then it would have never been a problem. Someone coming to talk to me about drugs and alcohol wouldn't faze me any way whatsoever, because that's not a problem for me. But someone talking to me about me not being good enough, or I need to be more open and more vulnerable, that's going to trigger me, because there's something inside of me. And so it's going to piss me off. But I understand that, okay, Rhonda, why is this making you upset? Why is this making you mad? So any encounter that you have with someone, to me, is beneficial, however it may go.
Right. And I think encounter is something totally different from spending time or making time for them. My thing is, sometimes we can get into so much, and that's one thing, and my mentees will tell you, I'm not running after you. If God sent me to you, you got to put some effort in trying to get what you need from me.
And I understand that.
People accountable.
But you know what, Judah? I have to be honest. There were so many people that should have walked away from me that didn't. And I am so grateful, because now that I look back on my ways, they were awful. But there's people that still stood by me when I didn't give them that time, when I didn't honor them, when I instantly detached because they did one little thing and they didn't walk away from me. So at what point do so I understand what you're saying, but I'm thinking about me personally. I thank God that they didn't walk away. I believe, this is just me, I believe that God gives people the grace to handle you who's supposed to handle you. Mm-hmm. And I don't spend a lot of time with people. I do not. I'm mostly like a somebody says it's better you do a video call. It's a bit live. Just, well, you don't got to be on here, so you can get off.
I removed them.
Oh, so
already removed.
Yeah. So anyway, what I was saying was, I'm glad that they didn't walk away, because to this day I don't spend a lot of time with people. I don't. And I know that that's not good. Even with my family, they can have events and I won't even go. Mm-hmm. So, but they don't give up on me. They don't stop trying.
Not giving up, but then people got to understand where you are. Because the thing is, if it's not for me to be there, that's it. And people have to understand, I'm not going to every event, because every event is not meant for me. And we have to understand that everything is not for you. And nobody should get upset, because guess what? It's still you. You don't have to show up. I don't care if they even ask me. I don't have to show up anymore. I don't.
Yeah. But then how does that affect others? Like, when you said, stop showing up for them, but how does that extend the same grace? I do understand what you're saying. I'm not going to chase after nobody. I'm not chasing nobody, but I'm just like.
One thing is, if I have not heard from them in a given time and God has told me, or the Holy Spirit set something on me to text them, I will check on them. I will check on them, but not until the Holy Spirit tells me or God tells me, look, something's going on. And it's a bunch of them. I don't know who it is just yet. And now I got to check on everybody,
I get that.
Huh?
I said, I get that.
Yeah. So it's just the point of the matter is, I think people have not been held accountable. And sometimes they think that because you're a person of God or a woman of God or man of God that you should always be checking on me up on me. No, let's hold each other accountable. It's called accountability here.
Yeah, I get that.
Why not?
Yeah.
So I think the last but not least thing is face your fears and insecurities. If you're the type of person that avoids any type of social situation unless they have someone with them, then it's better time to face that fear. Start off slow. Whatever it is, start off slow. Go to a movie by yourself. We talked about this. Start dating yourself. Take yourself out to eat. The moment you start living outside of your comfort zone is when your life begins. The one thing is that we still have to understand in these 10 things that there's a lot of things that people are focusing on. But I think for us, in the time in which we were COVID and all this stuff started happening, that we were isolated. In that isolation for me, that was a gift from God. I'm sorry. That was a gift from God for me. Because,
it didn't bother me.
huh?
It didn't bother me because I used to be by myself.
Right. It was a gift of God for me because I was overworking. So it gave me time to start thinking about health. It started giving me time to think about what's best for me in God's eyes.
Yeah.
What is that? So those are the 10, and I want to take you back over them right quick. Take back your life. Choose happiness. Go on one date a month. Stop being a victim. Stop being a victim. Let go and let live. Find your passion. Get active. Make time for those who make time for you. Face your fears and your insecurities. Face your fears and your insecurities. You got to. You got to. So let's start bringing people up. I know we got a couple of minutes before we get up out of here. It's 6:37. Who want to talk? Who or what are you focusing on for the new year? Let's hear from you. Let's hear from you. Ben Hatter, we're coming at you. Ben Hatter, if you want to talk, let's get on here. I don't know if these people already left. I think these people had already left. Anybody want to talk? Anybody want to talk? What are some other things that you want to focus on? I know people coming in, going out. It's like, okay, who are these people on here? We want 4.
I think another thing besides character I'm focusing on is I'm writing my second journal.
Okay.
And so going through the therapy and all that is going to be, a part and implemented in that. Health-wise, I have started drinking a gallon of water a day for the last 2 weeks, and and so I'm hooked on that now. Drinking the water, and so it's like I can't stand the miss drinking the water. It's like when I give myself a task, I don't want to disappoint myself, and so So I'm trying to make it a habit of drinking at least a gallon of water a day. So I pretty much got that down pack of how much I need to drink by when and what time. And I've been succeeding in that for the last 2 weeks. So, health, especially, health-wise and that. And still debating on where I want to go out of Mississippi, And this year I do want to look more into getting into a serious relationship and things of that sort. And, having that, just the simple things like that. But far as like success and stuff like that, I think that comes when you are prepared for it. Right. And so if you don't prepare for the platform, you would definitely some type of way it's going to be damaging. And so I see so many people get the platform before they prepare for it, and it can darn near destroy you. And so I don't want to have a platform that destroys me. I want to have a platform that I can always be effective in being influenced in a positive way. And the only way you're going to do that is by building your character again. And so I can't come out here and tell people to do something that I'm not doing. That's hypocritical. So many people live behind a shadow. So many people live behind a veil. So many people live behind walls. And I just don't want to be that person anymore. People live in false perceptions, they just do. And I think people won't be truthful until they're dealing with someone that deals in truth. And so I'm at a place in my life where I don't regret anything I've done. I've dealt with it. I'm honest about it, and I hadn't been perfect, and I'm still not perfect, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
And that's how it's still a process. And that's one thing that I tell people each and every day is it's sort of like you have to go through this process. And the biggest part is as we went through school, education, and things like that, I think, why wasn't this taught?
They didn't know.
Oh, well.
I think a lot of this healing stuff and all the stuff that's coming in this generation is kind of new, because even talking to my parents about stuff, it's just certain stuff they don't know and they don't even see a point in it. And I just don't understand how healing is not beneficial. And they just think you just deal with it and you move on. Yeah, you move on, but you're not dealing with it because you still harboring all this hate and hurt, and people live so much in secrecy and lies to it's just amazing to me. And so people, hide their sexuality because they don't want people to say certain stuff. And I can't say that I understand all the LG. I can't say I understand all that, but regardless of what you choose for your life, that's your business. But for me, my thing is be honest in who you are. Build your relationship with Christ, and He's going to reveal to you the things that you need to change. And so, my job is not to judge people. My job is not to make someone be something they don't want to be. But my job is just simply letting people know what Christ has done for me. And if they choose to want to follow that, then that's their business. If they don't, that's their business. But I'm going to share how I overcame my stuff. And hopefully, me sharing that will help you understand or plant a seed that you want that same relationship with Christ that I'm longing for. And so for me, I pretty much gave God permission to flourish in my life, however He needs to do that, because my task is just, I want to be who I'm created to be and receive what I am created to receive. Nothing more and nothing less. I just want to be the me before the trauma.
I love it. I love it. I think what we should realize is number one is why we are here. And I think people don't realize how much that is important. On top of that, like you said, for whatever you identify with, dog, cat, he, she, they, them, whatever, be the best whatever you identify with. There is no need to always remember it's pride before the fall. Most people don't understand that. Like I tell people a lot, I have a lot of certificates, I have a lot of degrees, I have a lot of this and all this and stuff, but you will never know that because it's not for forecast. Because the one thing I can tell people is once they put me in the grave, where does that stuff go?
It doesn't even matter. And but your spirit and who you are is going to live somewhere forever.
Right.
And so I'm truly in a sin where I'm basing my things on eternity.
That's it.
And not in the physical things that's now. If I get those things, good, but it's a blessing because of who I became, not because of the work that I'm doing to make it happen. We're so focused on the work that we don't never focus on the becoming. You can work like a dog and get all these things, but once you achieve these things, who are you with them?
Absolutely nothing.
And so I just don't want to be that girl that walk around and have all these things and I have nothing to carry it on to suffice or last.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to be her.
And the one thing that I tell people is, he said, build your hopes on things eternal. That's it. I don't have time to prove anything to man here on earth. I don't even have the patience for that. My patience only relies on what God tells me through the Spirit. And that's it. That's it. Nobody can tell me anything different from that.
Yeah.
So through our testimonies and through our praise and everything like that, that's what things that are supposed to be building off of. But we're too busy on these commercialized things. And we're too busy doing a lot of other things where it's irrelevant. It's just very irrelevant.
That's true.
So, yeah. Anybody want to come up? We want to talk about who or what you are focusing on for the new year. We do have some spots. We have 3 people here. Let me see. So I don't know. I can't say that name. But if you want to come up on the platform, come on up. Who or what you are focusing on for the new year. We are having an open platform. You can come on up on the platform, and let's talk about who or what you're focusing on for the new year. If we don't have anybody up in 10 minutes, we're going to close out. So definitely, I said the announcement before is my book, The Pressures of My Sin, Difficult Conversations. If you got the small print copy, please DM me so I can send to you the large print copy, because it was a mix-up in the script and the edits. So we're making sure that everybody get that free copy now of the right font. Another thing is hopefully other books, conferences and things coming up. So I'm just thankful to God for everything that's happening and things like that. So we're moving forward. Going to the new year focus.
Yes.
Any other questions? Any other comments?
Not for me.
All right. So it's 6:47 on the Switch Dial Sunday. So we just want to thank you guys for joining Sunday Jewels on the Rise. We're sad to say, and I know we've had some great listeners and things like that, that the New Year Sunday Jewels on the Rise will not continue on. Our last Sunday will be next Sunday. But definitely, if you want to hear from LaRonda, she had love
Is
LaRonda, and also dinner
and dialogue.
Look, I be forgetting all the things. Dinner and Dialogue. She has 2 podcasts, so definitely can catch her. And also, her Instagram is Jules Mentoring LLC. And what is your webpage too? Jules Mentoring. Dot.
Jules.com.
Okay. JulesMentoring.com.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're so glad we had this time together. We don't want to prolong you guys. Just stay tuned. Next Sunday, same bat channel, same bat station at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. Everyone have a good night.
Good night.